What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from the Fiddlehead Brewing Company, and they are out of Shelburne, Vermont, and this is their Mastermind. So they're calling this one a double IPA that comes in at 8.1% alcohol by volume, 90 IBUs at the time of review, and this can is just under 2 months old. And I'm beyond excited to give this one a review and actually try it for the first time. I've heard nothing but good things about this beer specifically since probably around 2015, maybe 2016. Back then, a lot of people talked about Fiddlehead's IPA and their second fiddle, but this was the one that got all of the hype, at least when I talked to folks who went to Fiddlehead. And I haven't had a chance to try it until now. And what's funny is over the past couple of years, Fiddlehead has turned into like this shelfie brewery here in the Buffalo, New York area and in the Northeast. Over the last couple of years, they have made it into the top 50 craft breweries by production, according to the Brewers Association. Back in 2021, they just made it into the top 50. And then last year, they were in the top 40. And you can get their IPA and I think their second fiddle in like 12 packs. One of them, I forget which one, comes in like the 19.2 fluid ounce stovepipe cans. And it's just crazy. I walked into one of my favorite local bottle shops. This was in the cooler just hanging out, and like I never thought in 2015 I'd ever see the day where I just walk into a local bottle shop just hanging out in the cooler, and it's been there for a while. So this is just under 2 months old, so not super fresh, but this was kept cold because the bottle shops I typically go to usually keep their stuff cold, especially the hop forward stuff. And yeah, I'm really excited to get into this one. Now, as far as like hops and everything, I don't know. I will say that people used to boast about pineapple, so I have a sneaking suspicion maybe Galaxy was in here, because Galaxy was the rage back in 2015, 2016, especially when it came to like pineapple forward beers. Outside of that, I don't know much about it, but it does have a little spiel here on the back that we will maybe read at the end. But I'm super pumped to finally give this one a go. So that looks beautiful, and that kind of honestly looks what a lot of folks want nowadays out of their hoppy double IPAs, like their New England and their hazy beers. It has that opaque kind of just milky yellow orange color, about a finger of a super creamy bright white colored head. Hold it up to the light, you can't see anything through, a little bit at the bottom but nothing else, and it just looks beautiful. And I got it in the Trillium glass because I don't have a a Fiddlehead glass, and I would say that kind of looks like a Trillium beer to some degree. It looks really beautiful inside the glass, I'm not gonna lie. Let's get a nose. Oh, almost 2 months old, and it's so vibrant on the nose. Oh man, getting a little bit like a bubblegum, like yeasty kind of profile. Yeah, like a yeast ester that is bubblegum, and I don't get that a lot. A lot of times now I get like vanilla, and when I think the yeast is doing that bubblegum cotton candy thing, this is definitely bubblegum to me. But there is so much crushed pineapple. This is bringing me back to the mid-2010s, where Galaxy would give me crushed pineapple. Like it would be like, just like the Dole crushed pineapple. 100%. That's what's happening here. There's a little bit of like a honeydew, like overripened honeydew melon, peach, apricot, big stone fruit vibes. And then there's underlying like citrus, but not like orange. It's more like tangerine and grapefruit, I would say. There's a slight floral, almost green sensation. Not green as in hop burn or like a green astringency, but just like green, like slightly vegetal, but like you're walking through a garden, and you're just taking it on. So it has like a floral green kind of thing. A little bit of dankness, kind of reminded me of like the old school like garlic onion vibes. I'm so happy. It smells fucking awesome. And so many times when I try beers nowadays that I haven't had in a long time, or I never had, and they used to get a lot of hype, I'll drink and be like, yeah, no, I understand back 2015, 16, there wasn't a lot of breweries doing stuff like this. But like, even right now, this smells fucking amazing to me. This is just amazing. I want to get into it. Oh, it smells so fruity and juicy. Yeah, let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. I can't dance, so I'll just do the fingers. Yeah, this is delicious. And there is such a nice, like, approaching moderate bitterness on the back of the palate. Oh, such a good fucking beer. This is a great beer. Body, 8.1%. It's like touch over medium. So it's not like, I wouldn't say it's thin. And I've mentioned this, and I'll mention it probably every fucking review if I do a triple or a double. I like that it's a little bit lighter on its feet because it makes it more drinkable. Somebody might drink this and say it's a bit thin for 8.1%, but I personally don't. So I think it's proper for what I want. The mouthfeel. This is where it's really nice because it has that old school little bit of like crispness to it, like a mild to moderate kind of carbonation. You know, spritzy on the palate, but it's really smooth and it's pretty creamy. So it's the best of like a new school New England IPA, hazy IPA, and an old school like American IPA. But this is a Vermont IPA, right? Or Vermont Double IPA. So body mouthfeel I really enjoy. The taste, it's maybe not as complex as the nose, but it just hit me in the feels, and it's doing exactly what I want it to do. Forefront, I get more of that tangerine, and I'd say ruby red grapefruit, a little bit sweeter grapefruit, a little sweeter tangerine right at the forefront. There's an underlying like biscuity malt character that's really nice, and it dives underneath the palate, becomes omnipresent, but it just lets everything ride above it, so it never steps in the way. It's never like, it doesn't hit me mid-palate or on the finish where it's like, oh, it's a little bit too malty. It just kind of rides along underneath everything. You notice it, but it never gets in the way of all those hop characters. All right, so the citrus hits first. After that, not crushed pineapple, but it's sweeter pineapple. Not quite crushed, but like a nice over-ripened pineapple. It almost mimics it too with a little bit of tartness. I get a touch of like a stone fruit, a peach, an apricot, something in that realm. And then right as it transitions from the fruity character, I get hit with a little bit of that bubble gum, what I'd assume is a yeast ester. And then it transitions into this floral, slightly dank, slightly herbaceous green kind of, like it's all over the place on the finish with like the greenness, the dankness, the herbaceousness. It doesn't have quite that garlic and onion thing, but it has more of like, again, walking into a garden. A little bit of like just a generic dankness, but a floral aroma that's really nice. This finishes semi-dry with again, approaching moderate bitterness. This has a bitterness that's kind of sitting on the back of the palate, which is really welcomed. This is almost 2 months old. And to me, if you told me this was 2 or 3 weeks old, I'd be like, yeah, has such a vibrancy from the aromatics to the actual flavor profile on the palate that, and look at the lacing doesn't mean a whole lot in the grand scheme of things, but man, that fucking lacing is just fantastic. This is great. This is, I always get so excited, and you'll notice because the reviews will be longer and I talk about it a lot, but I'm so excited when a beer like this just, you know, lives up to the hype in my head. But not the hype that this beer has nowadays, the hype that this beer had 7 or 8 years ago. Like, that's crazy to me that this is still, a fucking delicious double IPA. You can call it Vermont IPA, you can call it New England, you can call it hazy, whatever you want to call it. Let's read the back, then we'll give it a rating, and then we'll finish this out. It says, Team Mastermind. As part of our mission to positively impact local communities, 25% of all Mastermind Double IPA sales are contributed to the Team Mastermind Fund, which provides grants to organizations dedicated to improving pediatric health and broad community wellness. To learn more about the impact of Team Mastermind and the organizations we support, please visit fiddleheadbrewing.com/team-mastermind. So that's awesome. So it goes for a cool cause. That makes it even better in my book. Yeah, this is fucking delicious. So Mastermind Double IPA from Fiddlehead. This is a high 4.5 out of 5, well, 4.6 out of 5. This is fucking awesome. This is one of those, hey, if you see this in your cooler at your local beer store, or you see this on the shelf, just give it a go. Just give it a go. It's fucking Fiddle. I have not been disappointed by any Fiddlehead beer. I take that back. I think I was a little disappointed by the second Fiddle the original time I had it, but last time I had it was pretty good. So yeah, this is just, I cannot recommend you to pick this up enough if you see it. And again, this is almost 2 months old and it's fucking drinking phenomenally well. I'll probably hold up for another month, maybe two. Like, I don't know. I've been watching a lot of, and I highly recommend go check out Tree House Brewing Company's, their YouTube channel. Fantastic. I subscribed recently, and they were talking about like, it's gonna be a longer review, whatever. By this time, a lot of people have clicked off because I already gave the rating and everything. But they talked about like, how fresh, what's the length on like a beer like Julius? And they said, hey, like a beer like Julius, if it's kept cold properly and everything, 12 to 16 months easily. So you're talking 3-4 months. And I think a beer like this in another month or two, if this is kept cold, there's no reason this is not going to drop off a cliff in another couple of weeks. This is fucking drinking phenomenally well at almost 2 months old. So at 3 months, it's probably going to still be really good. So if you see this one, it's not like uber fresh, still pick it up. Price point availability, $17.99 4-pack. I think I want to say I paid like around $4.50. It was like $4.50 for that can, maybe $4.75 all day, every day. That's fucking top tier. And for $18 a 4-pack nowadays for an 8.1% double IPA, yeah, which is crazy. And availability with Fiddlehead, like I said, they get into, I want to say they get into like, do they have it on the can where they list all the different recycling places? They don't, do they? Fuck. Well, I'm pretty sure they get into like 8, 9, 10 different states in the Northeast, Mid-Atlantic. So if you want to get your stuff, if you want to get their stuff and you're in that, in that region, you can easily get it for the most part. If you're outside of the area, you can trade for this. And again, they're basically shelfie beers at this point, so it shouldn't be too hard. I fucking highly recommend this one. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of OG folks that come here and like, you never had Mastermind? Of course that's a great beer. What the fuck are you doing with your life? Not searching out Fiddlehead beers, apparently. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So anyway, huge thanks to everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. If you've had this one before, post in the comment section. Appreciate everybody stopping by. Till the next one. Did I even talk about 8.1%? I don't even think I did. Fucking no. Hides the ABV extremely well. The only reason I know this is a bigger beer is because of the body and mouthfeel, but like no stringency on the palate. There's no warming in my chest. 4.6 out of 5. Cheers.